Hi, this is Tom. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be showing quite a number of images. I'll show them quite quickly. These were created using a model view controller architecture, which I'll explain briefly. The model view controller architecture is a software development pattern which I adapted for use with ChatGPT. And the basic idea is that the model will be responsible for the, the prompt, the substance of the prompt, and then the view will be responsible for the look and feel. So one way this works, that's I'd say that the easiest to implement is just using style references. So here we can see, um, well, I'll get to a better example later. Here we're just seeing different prompts that were created using this methodology. Yeah, this I like this style reference a lot, and you can see there's a lot of different looks and feels that you get from the style reference here. So something that I want to get to is where I have a number of the prompts that are the same, that only differ by the style reference. So let me get to that. So these are all prompts involving Paris, which is one of my favorite themes. Right here, let's see. So these are different. Okay, here's an example. So well, I guess these are just different batches of the same one that I liked. I think that's correct. Yeah. Um, all right. So let me sorry about jumping here, but I want to get to the example I wanted to show. So this will show the same. Here's an example. All right. So these are the same prompts right here. The only difference is the style reference. So the view changes, which are style references, but the model is the same, which is creating the bulk of the prompt. And here you can see what a difference using a different style reference makes, even when the prompt is identical. And I think this is sufficient for showing that concept. So I am going to go to the, I'll go to the script. This is changing now to prompts involving London. And these are quite different. So you can see you get a lot of different variety. So let me go to the blog. Right. So this is the blog, which I will give the URL in the description of the video, and everything that you'll see in the blog is going to be related to this MVC controller framework. So you can start by reading the README, and that will touch upon everything that's available on the blog that you can use for this. And the basic idea is you have a controller, so there's one controller, and the controller will kind of run the show. So you copy and paste the controller script, and then it'll run the show. It'll ask for a model, and it'll ask for a view. So the model will define how the prompts are created, and there's a catalog of models that you can look at, which will show the different possible things that you can do with the models. So the last one we were looking at was Bauhaus design. So that was a methodology for creating prompts for that kind of um, interior interiors. There's another one that's Scandinavian. There's one on fantasy world creation, and then there's interesting characters. So that's defining characters that you can use with the CREF flag, if you're familiar with that. And then there's a couple of generic ones. So just creating generic Midjourney prompts. And then one this is called mixed elements, constructed prompt. And the if you run this script, it'll run through it for you. and it'll kind of just prompt you for what you need. But the basic idea is that you have a number of different elements. It could be things like the time of day or the season, or it could be the lighting or the sky. Um, there's just a number of different ways you can put elements for a prompt together, and it'll ask you for different ones that you want to use. And it's a nice way of getting a variety into one prompt. Okay, so you have a catalog of models, and then you have a catalog of views. So these are the views that are available. So there's 3 views that are available, and there's 6 models, I think. So that would be 18 different ways that you could combine these things. And this is one of the main ideas of this architecture, is that the models and the views are separate from one another. So rather than having 18 different scripts, there's just 9 different scripts, 6 models, 3 views. And you can see the more models and views there are, the more this multiplies, the more efficiencies that you gain. So the views are benchmarks, which are from midlibrary.io. So let me take a quick look at that. That's right here. So midlibrary.io is a very well-known site that has many different styles for Midjourney. And so I grabbed the ones that are called benchmarks are basically ones that have had a lot. These are ones that the creator of the site gave high marks to. I guess that's a good way of putting it, because there's so many styles. There's thousands of styles. So this is a way of getting like a handful of styles. So you can see there's different types of photography and art, and something that I really like. There's a comic book kind of stuff, child's book and fantasy. And I would say you can look through. There's a lot of different things. But what I really liked a lot from this one, I like this one a lot. This traditional and folk arts, that was really cool. And also techniques. I really like the techniques a lot. Because if you do something like, say, infrared photography, that's one. That gives a really nice look. A lot of these things you can play around with. And so you get the substance of the prompt from the model. And then here, there's different ways you can try to get a look and feel. And I really recommend looking at these benchmarks. That's different ways of getting a nice range of different looks and feels. Okay, then another one that I'll show is the style references that I mentioned. So there's 2 different catalogs for this. One is called Submitted Style References. So these are ones that different contributors of Midjourney, like people that are master users, I guess you could say, that have done like thousands of images in Midjourney. These are ones that they submitted that they liked. And then there's another collection, which is simply the first 100. And for the catalog of style and references, there's a catalog here. So this is for your use as a user, not for ChatGPT. But what I did is I included an image of each of these style references, so you can see what they look like. And then you can choose to use them as in your view, or you can have ChatGPT choose one for you. But there's some that I like I mentioned, for example, this particular style I liked quite a bit. I also liked this one. And I liked this one here too. These were 3 of my favorites. And one of the things I did was just make a list of about a dozen of these. I think there's about 40 total. And then you just give it to ChatGPT and say, well, these are ones I particularly like, so please choose from these. Or you can do it yourself, of course. Okay. So I think that's what I wanted to explain. If you have any questions, I invite you to ask me in the YouTube video. You can, or from the blog as well, you could ask questions as a comment. The basic idea, you have a controller that runs things. You have different models you can use to describe the substance of the prompt. And then you have the view, which provides different looks and feels. And then you have lots of different ways you can put these together. So I showed some of these at the beginning. And maybe I'll show some more real quick, just to get an idea of just how much variety there is available. So I'm gonna jump to the last thing that I did. I wonder if there's a quicker way of doing this. Maybe there's some hotkey. But anyway, this one here. See this coastal village with homes and pathways made from multicolored sea glass. So sea glass was a daily theme. So here's a bunch that I did. These have exactly the same prompt, but you can see how different these look just by varying the look and feel. So some of these I varied by, I varied by oil and canvas, post-impressionism, and Gauguin. So these are varying by the art style and the artist used. And then I have a bunch, these are varied now by the style reference. And these are all exactly the same prompt. But you can see what a nice collection of different looks and feels, different styles, you could say, for Midjourney. Okay, this one's a different prompt now, but I showed a bunch of these that have exactly the same prompt, but you can change the look and feel either by changing the art style and the artist that's being used, or by changing the style reference, and you get like lots of nice different ways of looking at this. And also, let me look here. These are using not necessarily exactly the same prompt, but these are a number of different techniques that were used, that you can see that were used. So once again, you can see there's just a lot of different variety, really. I mean, there's probably millions. I mean, at least many, many thousands of different ways you can combine these together. And it's really easy to do. And I found this to be a lot of fun. And it took a while to put together, but I finally got a version that I'm happy enough to present to you. And I hope that there are those among you that will play around with it and have fun with it and let me know. Okay, thanks again. Until next time, thanks for watching.